Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the PG Show, where we talk about all things college football. And today we're going to talk about the Miami Hurricanes and what is going on out there and what is Mario Cristobal doing with this team. But before we do that, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. If you are a Miami fan, or even if you're not a Miami fan, what are you excited to see from Miami? And do you think that they can be returned to former glory in the next 2 to 3 years? All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. So recently, over the past week, you guys might have seen the talk about how Cristobal has retired the turnover chain, says it's not a part of our culture. Personally, I think this is a great move. If you're Miami and you're celebrating the turnovers, which, by the way, it's not like that you're this suffocating Clemson or Alabama or Georgia defense and you're creating turnovers left and right and you're leading the nation in turnovers. No, you're not. You're in the bottom of it. And yet you've got this silly chain that when you get the ball, sometimes by luck, you're going to celebrate. I don't see Alabama doing this. I don't think I saw Clemson doing this either. I think Georgia had something that they did. But winning cultures don't worry about these silly side shows that they do. This turnover chain was absolutely ridiculous because you're Miami football and you weren't even winning your games. And yet you're out here celebrating, hey, I'm down 21-0, but we just got a turnover. We're down 21 points, but we just got a turnover. It doesn't create a winning culture. And I'm glad that he is retiring the turnover chain. And he's saying this does not fit. This is not who we are. And this is not how I have won in the previous years. We're going to take what I've done and we're going to implement that here, and we're going to become a winning football program. And I think Miami football fans have to be excited about what Mario Cristobal is doing out there. Make everybody grow up. Now you're being played. A lot of these guys are being played to play football. So go out there, play football, and cut out all the silliness. You're out there to win a national championship, not get a turnover chain. All right, let's talk about the 2023 recruiting class and just Miami being on fire. And I say they're on fire, and they've only got one 5-star recruit in this class, guys. Now, they do have two people, Jaden Rashada and Jaden Wayne, that could potentially be 5 stars by the end of this 2023 cycle. They're right on the border. Jaden Rashada being a guy that a lot of people wanted, including my Oklahoma Sooners. We're looking into getting him. But this is big. I mean, Miami recruiting, like, I know people say all the time, like, Texas is back, but I think we can say Miami is back because we see Mario Cristobal coming in here and we see him changing the culture, which we just talked about. And then we see him in his first year, like, completely dominate the recruiting aspect for him. So, like, I mean, what do they have? It's let's see here. It's an 11th ranked class, and recently I think they were a little higher than that. And, you know, right now, Francis, I can't say his last name, Moiago, or he's the offensive tackle from IMG. You know, he's their only 5-star. But let's just kind of look down the list a little bit. Let's see who they're. If you guys go to 247 Sports, which is, you know, that's where I pull from all the time. If you go to the player rankings, it shows the team on the side. It shows you 100% of, like, you know, the crystal balls and everything. Here's who they're listed to potentially get at this point. Samson Okunola, another 5-star offensive tackle. What does this mean? Jaden Rashada is going to have a tremendous offensive line protecting him. Then you've got Hakeem Williams, a 5-star wide receiver. Right now it's a split between Texas A&M and Miami, but he's out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And with the way that Miami is recruiting right now, I definitely think they can go in there and win that one pretty easily over Texas A&M. And then you got Samuel M. Pimba, an edge rusher, 6'3" edge rusher, another 5-star. Let's see here. Let's go down the list. We already got Jaden Wayne. He's a 4-star. So right now they could potentially end up. That's just potentially ending up with what we've seen for Cristobal's at least 3 more. I think they're in the running for, last time I looked, Nicholas Harbor. I know that there's talks that Cormani McClain could potentially go to Florida or somewhere else. But, hey, state of Florida, Lakeland, Florida. And Lakeland, Florida has been a recruiting hotspot for the Florida Gators. But come on, you want to go to Miami. Not only do they have the boosters, but the boosters got the money. David Hicks, wouldn't put it past him. I think right now Miami's pretty far up there with that one. I guess the point I'm trying to make is Miami's not only just been on a recruiting tear, but they're in the running for a lot of these other big-time players. Look at all the other coaches, new coaches across the college football landscape. Lincoln Riley, Brent Venables, Dan Lanning up at Oregon. What's his name? Marcus Freeman up at Notre Dame. Brian Kelly down at LSU. I think that we could make an argument that Miami is the best out of all of these schools right now with the recruiting of a first-year head coach, especially for what was there. Like, a lot of these programs were left in good shape. Miami was not in good shape, guys. And not to mention that, they have a squad this year, especially with the quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, who a lot of people are high on. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to go out there and make the playoffs. That's not what I'm saying, but I think they could definitely make some noise and be a pretty good team this year. Miami football's back. And, last year, they lost, it was 1, 2, 3 games. 4 games. And they lost to the Florida State Seminoles at Florida State, at North Carolina. They lost to Virginia at home and Michigan State at home, and then Alabama at a neutral site. They had a pretty tough schedule. And 2 of those games, Florida State and North Carolina, they could have won those easy. They lost by 3 points in both of those games, so total 6 points. Virginia, they lost by 2. So, really, if Miami would have just made a couple better plays, they could have only had 2 losses on the season. I don't know. I think Miami this year, I think they could win 10 games. I think they're a 10-win team this year. I just look at what Mario Cristobal did last year with Oregon, especially going into Columbus and beating Ohio State in Columbus. Is it far-fetched to say that? I mean, let's look at their schedule this year. They start out by playing Bethune-Cookman Wildcats at home, Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Those should be 2 straight wins. Then they play at Texas A&M. A lot of people are thinking that Miami could win that game, and I don't put it past it because Mario Cristobal went in and beat Ohio State, and we know Ohio State's a lot better than Texas A&M. And then they play Middle Tennessee State, so that's 4-0, and then they have a bye week, right? So now we got North Carolina at Virginia Tech, Duke, Virginia, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Pitt. I don't think they're really going to be in that much trouble until they have to play Clemson and Pitt. And is Pitt really going to put up that big of a challenge? I mean, I think Miami's got a pretty favorable schedule this year to win 10 games. Maybe even 11. And as a Miami fan, to see what you guys have had over the previous couple of years, this has got to be big for you. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you guys think about Miami? Their recruiting, getting rid of the turnover chain, the culture change, and then where do you guys think they're going to end up record-wise this year? Do you guys agree 10 or 11 games? Do you guys think it's 9? I don't think they're losing more than 3 games, though.